What's up, YouTube? This your boy Munchie, MUHNCH2Ys, and I'm bringing you a created class video on what you could say. You could call it I guess, a competitive player point of view. So, yes, I've played Call of Duty competitively. I've been playing since Black Ops, so I guess you could say about a year and a half. My team, as you can see, NXC, that is next episode, and I'm the Slayer, so I'm going to bring you a created class from a Slayer point of view. So let's get this thing started. First, you want to go to this created class, and the ACR, out of all the assault rifles, is the most popular because it has the best accuracy along with fire rate, and it's very mobile, so you can get around the map, pretty well with it. All these other guns, there's there's pros and cons to every assault rifle, but the ACR just ended up being the best and the one that can hang the most in competitive gameplay. Alright, for the proficiencies, you have kick, impact, double attachments, focus, breath, and stability. Focus, in my opinion, is the best because you ever been shooting at somebody and all of a sudden they shoot you and your gun all in the air and you shooting at the birds instead of them? Well, what focus do is it reduces the flinch when hit, like it says in the description. And what that means is if you're getting shot at, and somebody's shooting at you and all of a sudden your gun goes up, when you use focus, it reduces it. As in, it don't take it away completely, but it brings it down like really, really low. So when you're shooting at somebody and using focus, there's a good chance that your gun, if it moves, is going to be very little. And that's why it's the best, in my opinion, because kick, yeah, it reduces the recoil. So when you shoot, if your gun's shaky, that's if somebody's not shooting at you like by itself. Like the AK is a very shaky gun. That's because it has high recoil. Kick, what it does is it reduces the kick, as in it reduces the shakiness when you're shooting, and the ACRs are already accurate without it. So in my opinion, focus is the best because you're getting a lot of gunfights when you're playing competitive CTF. The red dot is the most accurate attachment. There's no point of using silencer. You're getting called out anyway when you play competitive gameplay, and all this other attachments aren't necessary. And so red dot, like I said, is the most accurate, and I enjoy it using it. These reticules, honestly, it just takes away the accuracy, in my opinion. Competitive gameplay is not good. If you look at the pro players, they use just the red dot. They don't use none of this omega and mil dot, none of that. It's not really necessary. So just use the regular dot, or you can just click none. Camouflage, whatever you want to make your gun look cute. You know what I'm saying? I just use red because red is my favorite color. Alright, back to the secondaries. Or not back, but let's go to the secondaries. You have the handguns, USP, the .44 Magnum is a favorite in the competitive scene because it is very powerful, and it only take 1 or 2 shots to kill you if you're already injured. And that's what the point of the secondary weapon is. If you run out of bullets, or if you need to or if you don't have time to reload, you switch your secondary. So the M4 Magnum is good because it's accurate. Well, it's not really accurate. It depends on the player who's using it. But if you're, say for instance, you're shooting at somebody and you don't have time to reload and he's trying to get away, you can just switch your .44 Magnum really quick and end them, or kill them before you get away. Handguns are good because the smaller the secondary, the faster you switch to it. Now, recently I've been watching my favorite pro team, Team Fear, and I noticed they've been using machine pistols. In Black Ops, machine pistols were not allowed. In MW3, they are allowed. And so I noticed as a Slayer, your gameplay is slower than an OBJ player, so you wouldn't need to switch as fast as an OBJ player. So machine pistols are actually come in handy when you are a Slayer, because it's just like using an ACR, or a fully automatic assault rifle, but it's your secondary. And it's good to use extended mags because you don't have to worry about reloading because you have a little bit extra bullets in your clip. And you rarely use your secondary, because usually when you're running on a map, you're picking up ammo for your primary and all that. So it just comes in handy. And let's move on to the lethal. When the lethal, first of all, the throwing knife, bouncing Betty, claymore, and C4, they're not allowed. So frags and Simtex are what people use. In my opinion, frags are good because when you use a frag, you could throw it off a wall. You know what I'm saying? You could throw a dead nade, which means you could throw it on the floor and wait for the time to go before it blows up. And your opponent wouldn't even notice because it's a dead nade. They think it's like a rock or something on the floor, unless the grenade indicator comes up. But with a Simtex, it's really OBJ type of, or I should say OBJ friendly, because when you're OBJ, you're moving fast, and so you want to throw the nade, get it over with. If you want to run in the room, throw the nade, the Simtex, and go in there, it blows up, and it's more effective than a frag. But like when you use a Simtex, like I said, nade, you could throw it off the wall and all that. With a Simtex, you really can't, because when you throw it, it sticks to the wall. And so that's really up to you, but in my opinion, frags are more effective. Tactical. Okay, tactical, all these are not allowed, although I think a smoke grenade is allowed, but I think people do not use it because there's no point of throwing a smoke grenade unless you're playing like Search or something. But for CTF, concussions, aka stuns, are very effective, because when somebody has the flag, you could throw a concussion, and when you get a hit marker, you know that you slowed them down, whether it's a little or a lot. You just know for sure that they're being slowed down. With a flash, if you get a hit marker, they're not slowing down, but they're flash. Their screen turned white. But the thing is, when you get a hit marker, you don't know if they're flash really badly, or you don't know if they're flash a little bit. And that's a problem, because what if you throw a flash and you think they're really flash, like their screen is all white, but then honestly their screen barely became white, and you run in there thinking they're blind, and you end up getting killed. So that's why flashes aren't really effective, and concussions are. Alright, for the perks. Perk 1, extreme conditioning. When you're playing CTF, it is a very fast-paced game. So, you're constantly running, constantly trying to capture the flag, constantly trying to get to the other side to kill the people from their spawn. And so extreme conditioning plays a big part. People don't use scavenger because you're running around, and in the competitive scene, there's only like 3 or 4 guns that people rotate through. And what I mean by rotate, which is used because they know that's the guns that can keep up, with each other. And so when you're running around, you pick up other ammo from other guns, or you could just simply pick up somebody else's gun. That's why they don't use scavenger. Blind eye is useless because there's no kill streaks. There's nothing flying in the air. Recon is not allowed, and sleight of hand is allowed. Sleight of hand is good for if you like to reload fast, but like I said, in CTF, you're running around constantly, and so you want to be as fast as you can, mobile as you can. Sleight of hand is good if you're playing back, more of a defensive player, but in my opinion, extreme conditioning is the best. Also, I've noticed recently that when you use sleight of hand, your gun is more light, and so when you're shooting, it bounces more. Back to the whole recoil thing. But I don't know if it's just me, but I really realized when you use sleight of hand, you can give it a try if you want. Your gun is lighter, but then switch to extreme conditioning, and your gun is more heavier. And so when it's heavier, it shoots like with less recoil because it's heavier. Like it's kind of like an attachment is on it when it's really not. And so I just think extreme conditioning is really well, especially for accuracy. Quick draw, is good because you don't want to take 3 years to throw your stun or your frags. Not literally 3 years, but you know what I'm saying. By the time you freaking throw a stun or a frag, you might get killed because if you don't have quick draw on, it takes forever. So quick draw is very good, to get the frags and the stuns out as quick as possible. Dead silence is a very important perk because as a competitive player, I know that if not all, 99% of competitive players have headsets. And so if you do not have a headset, if you do not use dead silence, they will sound whore you, which means they will crank up their headset, especially in search, and they can listen for footsteps, or when you throw nades, or stuns or any little sound to hear where you're at or to get an idea where you're at. So dead silence is very important when you're playing competitive. And you know, you got kill streaks. Kill streaks are not allowed in competitive. Death streaks, you know, hollow point is the most fair because it really doesn't give you an advantage. So a lot of people just use hollow point. But yeah, that's it for right now. You know, that's that was a ACR Slayer class. You know, I think that's the most effective when it comes to competitive gameplay. And I hope you enjoyed the video. And it's your boy